Hello and welcome to my F1 25 driver career mode, here today for part 39 for the Italian Grand Prix, where we will be racing for the first time in Ferrari red. Can we give the crowd something to cheer about this weekend? So we come into qualifying now. This is at the end of our first lap. Qualifying, we've gone for a special one-off helmet this weekend for the Italian Grand Prix, and that first lap puts us into P20. We're now P21, we've gone down, but we've found 6 tenths on this lap, and we come up to the line now, and we cross it and we go to P8. We went again, we could only manage P11. So this is the grid then ahead of the Italian Grand Prix. Leclerc put his Ferrari on the front right on pole alongside Albon. Then it's Lando and George, Verstappen and Behrman, another good qualifying for him. Ocon and Gasly, Bortoleto and Sainz. We are alongside Antonelli at his home Grand Prix. Then it's Hayes and Hulkenberg, Piers and Oscar Piastri, Colapinto and Liam Lawson, Hakkinen and Yuki Tsunoda. And on the final row of the grid is Jacques Villeneuve and Jack Doohan. So as the cars make their way onto the grid now ahead of the Italian Grand Prix. It's looking close between a 1 and a 2 stop today. We need another comeback drive like we did last time out at Zandvoort. This time though, we're starting halfway further up the grid. It could be another swing Leclerc's way in the championship unless we can pull off something big. But now, as the 5 red lights come on ahead of the Italian Grand Prix, we're racing at Monza, and we've got a fairly okay start. A lot of wheel spin, now being attacked by Antonelli at the inside of us. We're going to be later on the brakes though. Go around the outside of Antonelli, and now we're side by side with the Sauber. That's going to go to the inside line for turn 2, and we gain that place. And now round the outside of Carlos Sainz we get him, and now side by side with Gasly in the Alpine. And we get that job done. Leclerc leads from Albon, from Lando Norris. As now we're going around the outside of Ocon. Good move there. Next up the road is the other pass of Behrman. We've gained a couple of places in the opening sector of the Grand Prix. Now can we find a way past the other half? It's going to be crucial that we do. We don't want to be tucked up behind him for too long today. And we're going to pull to the outside, and there's nothing Behrman can do about that. And we are up into P6 on the open lap after starting P11, but Behrman has stuck with us, and he's going to try and get us back now towards turn 1. We're not really his race, but apparently he thinks we are, and he goes to the inside, but we're going to be later on the brakes. He backs out of that one. Next at the road for us is Max Verstappen in the Aston Martin, a car we studied a lot last time out at Zandvoort. We had to undercut him to get past him that day, but if we're going to get him here, it's a lot easier to overtake than it is at Zandvoort. And we're going for a lunge to the inside, and over the outside line. Max has taken a lot of curve there, and we power past. So we've caught the back of George Russell after both of us have got past Lando making a mistake, and we found a way through. So did George. Now we're on the back of George, and we're going to overtake him like he's not even there. It's a great move there on the Mercedes, and we get that job done. And now we're on to the podium, and up the road next is Albon. Can we make this a Ferrari 1-2? We get down the road after our championship rival Charles Leclerc, but he is 8 seconds up the road from us, and we were slowly catching Albon, but we were struggling a bit as we just pulled away from George behind. We were kind of stuck in this 2-second lead roundabout. But at the end of lap 8, into the pits comes Albon. Is Albon 2-stopping? It was looking close between all of it, between a 1 and a 2. Albon is pitting. That's a long way to go on a set of tyres. Surely he is 2-stopping, but it is a Ferrari 1-2 as it stands. Albon dropping way down to P10 after his stop. He's gone onto the hards, so maybe he's just leaving his options open, or maybe he is thinking about going to the end. As now onto lap 9, we just couldn't catch Leclerc. He was keeping the gap, and he was slowly actually extending it out, And at the end of lap 11, we started to fall back into George and Lando. So at the end of lap 11, we're into the pits to make our one and only stop of the day. And now we've been trundling down the pit lane. Our movie camera is off. Cards are going to go on.
Okay,
and
mate, that's it. Go, go, go. That was a fantastic.
Our one stop for today. But where are we going to come out? A lot of cars behind us has pitted, who are all, I believe, two stopping. As we come out though, we're behind pretty much all of them. We've been beaten out by Hayes, Piers and Albon's miles at the road as well, and that is not the best outcome. Now we're going to have to quickly get our way through these, depending on where Charles Leclerc comes out, because lap 13 is on 2 extra laps. He's into the pits for his stop. He's gone into the hards as well. Where does Leclerc come out? This could be a race critical moment coming the final lap of the day. Out of the pits he comes. He's still going to be leading the Italian Grand Prix, and those that are two stopping are nowhere to be seen, and that could be it then for the chances of the race win today, unless we can pull off a miracle. Now we've got to get through these two stoppers quickly as they're battling in front of us, and we are slowly catching them as well, as this is then Ocon battling Sainz, who's got himself up there, but he is two stopping along with Albon. Albon is P2 again, and it's a good overtake there by Sainz, makes it a double Williams podium, but it's only going to be brief, as here comes Ocon back, and look at Piers there. What a move, double move there. Ocon and Sainz focusing on each other, and Sainz has been absolutely mugged there. He's lost 2 places, but can Piers find a way past Ocon? And he did. Great move there. And now in front of us, this is the other apex of Sonny Hayes, trying to get past Ocon, who's lost out to Carlos Sainz again, round the outside at the final corner. He's got the job done, and now we're on the back of Ocon, and we're going to be extremely late on the brakes. Job done there.
Nice work, mate. That brings you up a
get
place.
1 place back on the 2 stoppers. Up the road next though is going to be Hayes, but here comes Carlos Sainz now coming down the straight. Hayes is going to try and find a way past here, and he's going to get him. Look at the straight line speed, but Williams have always been slippery in the straight line, and he's just about going to stay ahead as they go side by side through the first chicane. Hayes tries to keep it around the outside. We're getting interested. We've got a great launch, and it's been double teamed again. Had Carlos Sainz, and now can we find a way past Hayes? This is critical that we do quickly, and now we're going to bait to the outside, go down the inside, catch him nothing. We move at that place, and in front of us next is Piers, and then we just pulled away from those behind. They did start to pit. Lando back up into P5, Sainz down. Lando got himself through, and now we head down the pit straight. We were kind of stuck here waiting for Albon to pit, because he is definitely two stopping now, but look at the gap and the damage between us and Charles Leclerc, as at the end of lap 18 into the pits goes Albon, and it's back to being a Ferrari 1-2 with Lando Norris now P3. Can't help but think Williams have bottled today, because they're in such a good position. The 2 stop, it doesn't seem to be the way to go, but now we are a long way back from Charles Leclerc, 21 seconds, and that gap was just getting bigger. Lap 23 here, he was just too quick for us today. Leclerc seems to find another gear at Monza, and he found it again today, and the gap now, look at that, 27 seconds is absolutely nothing we can do, as Kimi Antonelli retires from his home Grand Prix. Disappointed for him, but we skip on to the 27th and final lap of this Italian Grand Prix. The Tifosi came for a Ferrari win, and as he rounds the final corner, Leclerc is going to give the Tifosi just that. He wins the Italian Grand Prix, and a long way back is us as we round the final corner. It's going to be a perfect day for Ferrari as we make it a 1-2 for the Scuderia.
What a driver! Charles Leclerc takes the victory.
And that's 2 wins in a row now. It's the start of potentially something special, but they can't get ahead of themselves just yet. It's a long way to go.
And the top 3 venturing onto the podium to begin the celebrations. Back on top once again, please welcome our winner, Charles Leclerc.
So that has been then your Italian Grand Prix, the perfect outcome for Ferrari at Monza. Charles Leclerc wins once again at Monza. We come home, another great drive, P11 to P2. We need to get back to qualifying at the front because the last 2 races have been shocking and it's cost us today. We just got caught up in those 2 stoppers and that kind of ruined our day, but we didn't have the pace to beat Leclerc today anyway. And then Lando Norris was P3 running out the podium. Albon, a podium was definitely on for him today if it weren't for the strategy, but he was the highest placed 2-stopper, finishing P4. And then George Russell rounds out the top 5 today. And then down at the back, Kimi Antonelli is classified, but he's 3 laps down after his engine blew. Jack Doohan finished last on the track today, a lap down along with Colapinto. This is what it means then in terms of the Drivers' World Championship. It's another swing back towards Leclerc. 7 points he's gained on us today, 40 points is the gap now. It's still fairly comfortable, but if Leclerc keeps this form up, we're going to have some problems if we don't sort our qualifying out. Lando Norris is still P3 in the drivers, Alex Albon P4, Oscar Piastri, a bit of a disappointing day for him, he is still P5. And then down at the back there's still multiple drivers still yet to score this season, and it is still Jack Doohan who is bottom. So a perfect day for us then means we further extend our lead out in the Constructors' World Championship. 149 points is the gap now. Williams are P3, Apex P4, and Red Bull still round out the top 5, and then it is still just Sauber who are pointless. So that has been then your Italian Grand Prix race weekend. A perfect day for us as a team, but another swing in the championship fight. We go to Singapore next at the Marina Bay Circuit, the toughest, most physical track on the calendar. We need to bounce back. I'll see you then. Goodbye.